GTA 6 is about to make a lot of people rich, and I feel like it shouldn't be a taboo to talk about it. Whenever there's some hype around something, there's a congregation of people, a lot of people assembling around one thing, there's always opportunity to make money. And since this is the internet, your mind is probably immediately going to the bad stuff, like, oh, I'm gonna be scamming people, I'm gonna be, yes, this is gonna be happening, it's inevitable, but let's focus on the good stuff. And the good stuff is always supply and demand. Now, we live in an age where supply and demand doesn't necessarily mean goods or services in exchange for money. Sometimes just views means money. So for the consumer, they just watch a video. For example, the video you're watching right now is monetized. I am not taking money from your pockets, but I am making money. So if we're going to talk about it, let's start with the simplest way that you could be making money with GTA 6 or anyone else really. And of course, that is through monetized content. Now, if you want to be as lazy as possible. Lazy is not necessarily negative in this context, but really not put like a ton of effort and really have like a clean workflow and wake up every morning and know exactly what you need to do to get that bag. I would say make content. And the easiest type of content that you can make is literally taking information from the game and relaying it in a video in a very comprehensible form. On the surface, it looks like, oh, you're going through the tutorial. You're showing, oh, the first part, oh, first mission in GTA, or how to do this. Hey, here's a video just listing all the different commands, all the different buttons, all the different keyboard shortcuts. It's not going to come out on PC for a while. But a video as simple as here are all the keybinds in GTA 6 could potentially put you pretty high in SEO. And, you know, at some point, someone's going to type that into Google. So if you're smart, you will have a list of your chapters in YouTube with every single keybind, so that if I want to know how to jump, how to vault, I type that into Google. Google will know that your video has it time-stamped, and it will send me directly through it. Now, of course, if it's a brand new channel, you're not monetized yet, but this is the beginning of something. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Something as big as GTA means there's going to be a ton of competition. So this is absolutely a gamble. It could work, it could not work. Now, you can do a couple of things to make sure that it works. Consistency is going to be one of them. Yes, a ton of people are going to be posting content about GTA. A ton of people are going to be posting pretty much the same video as you on GTA 6. But if you stay consistent, you come up with a tiny little plan where you're like, okay, every day I'm going to post a little bit. I'm going to post this and I'm going to post that. The YouTube algorithm might favor you and your channel could blow up in just a couple weeks, and you might even be monetized in less than a month. And guess what? Once you get monetized, all the views you get after that on those old videos now are monetized. So you're making money on old videos too. An extra quick tip, and that's if you're really going for that money, is to basically create a blog where you're also relaying that information in the form of an article, and then you link your YouTube video within those articles. That means you're going to be double placed in Google's SEO, so people are guaranteed to find your video no matter what. If you're serious about it, your strategy is to flood the search engines, to make it impossible to search anything GTA related without your name coming up. And yes, that was the lazy way, because you're literally just taking information that the game is giving you and bringing it back. Of course, if you play the game a little bit and you manage to discover some stuff, you can make separate videos about that. Now, what are the downsides? Because, you know, I made it sound like that was the way to go. The downside is that long-term, this is awful. Like, this is 3 years from now, you're not going to be like super, people are going to come in, they're going to get the information, and then they're going to leave. They're going to forget who you are very fast. So if you want to on the side, maybe you can advertise, I don't know, a Twitch channel where you play the game or something like that. But the whole tutorial, the whole information way is always like diminishing over time. Like, just look at the views on this channel and look at the amount of subscribers that I have. So I'm speaking from experience. Now, of course, there's going to be story mode. So within this same category of lazy or low effort content, you can just, like, you know, classic Let's Play, but separate it in different different missions. So different videos for each stuff, so that, again, you're trying to please the algorithm mostly, so that when people search for certain things, they find it through your channel. Okay, now let's get a little bit more creative. Things like, and it's like some advice that I've been giving for so long, things like the beauty of GTA 6, which basically means go somewhere in the world, in the map, turn off the UI, record for a long time, and post different time lapse of just how beautiful the city is in the game. Showcasing different stuff in the game, showcasing different interactions, showcasing different cars, different clothing, or just like the tiny little details like the physics. Like, find a way to shoot things and make it a little more cinematic and things like that. Just the creative aspect of creating content over it. And then on top of that, you can add a little bit of voiceover. Now you're adding a little bit more of your personality into the content while also being creative. And this is basically your chances of finding that success and keeping that success over a long period of time is basically going up from the lazy, hey, this is just a tutorial, to, hey, here's a creative thing where I'm showing you this and I'm talking to you and I'm showing my personality. This is long-term building right there. Another one that has to do with content, but solely focused on short form, is going to be for YouTube Shorts and TikTok, because those are the platforms that pay the most for short form content. But your goal here is to basically push so that you can have the maximum amount of views so that you can get monetized as fast as possible. And it literally consists on re-uploading specific scenes and also posting edits. You can literally use like CapCut templates, post some edits from the game, and then just spam that stuff. But YouTube Shorts, both YouTube Shorts and TikTok, don't pay a lot. So you really need to be spamming if you want to see anything that you can call lucrative money. I personally do not advise you doing this, because it's like, but I know some people are like expert into the short form stuff and they only want to do the short form stuff. Like, that's the easiest. The previous ones that I mentioned can also be used in short form, but in my opinion, it's too much effort versus the reward of what you're going to get paid, even if those videos blow up. Whereas here, you could literally pick all the cinematics in the game and upload like little chunks of them, and that's it. All right, that's not all when it comes to content, but let's leave it alone for now. What if you do not make content? Let's say that you have a little bit of skills when it comes to 3D modeling. I don't know if you're aware, but GTA 5 has RP servers making millions and millions and millions of dollars right now. 14 years after the game came out. And we know that Rockstar actually bought FiveM, which is like one of the biggest platforms for RP servers. So eventually, not at launch probably, but eventually there will be something that has to do with RP and servers and GTA 6, and it's going to be huge. A lot of people are anticipating this right now. Some people are actually anticipating this more than the story mode or the game itself, just the RP stuff. Now, of course, running your own server means that you're paying for hosting, you're probably working with developers and you have to pay them, and it can be a lot of things. That's the best way to make the most money, is to own a server and have people come in and actually have stuff that they can pay for. And that's something that I advise you do your own research and you know, really get familiar with the whole economy thing. But basically, you have moderators, you have staff, and then you will have like a store where you can sell some currency, and with the currency people can buy certain stuff. You're also open to donations or tips, basically, and people can get stuff when they tip. Some servers you actually have to pay a fee to join in the first place. Some servers you have to pay to get unbanned. Some servers allow you to pay to get staff role, for example. So the economy is really, really vast. But here's the thing. If you're going in with no money, if you're even watching this video because you don't have any money, you probably don't have the money to invest in this in the first time. Also, you need a lot of good like management skills. And I can tell you, most of the server owners do not. But as I said, server owners need to spend money somehow, right? Usually the easiest way for you to get a custom GTA RP server is to just pay for the hosting, and then there's free packages that you can install, and it's going to give you like a bare bones thing that is like just not even functional, right? So there are people who are just experts at just setting up your basic server with everything it needs to just get started. So you can immediately start inviting people. Basically, it's going to give you a couple of scripts. It's going to give you mods. Sometimes it immediately puts custom cars in the game, so your dealerships are functional. Things like you can have like a driving school and things like, basically just a functional server, which is hosting plus mods plus custom items basically in the game, that sells privately for a one-time payment or a subscription for the people who are a little bit more scummy about it. And it doesn't sell for much. The thing is, there will be a lot of people trying to set up their own servers. So if you can get in early on that type of stuff and you have your service and it's out there on the internet, I've seen some that are like $50. I've seen others that are like $100. And of course, it depends on the type of hosting that you want and all that good stuff. But yeah, imagine if 1,000 people bought your $50. This is like one of those finance gurus. They're always like, sell a product for $1 and just get 1 million people to buy it. But seriously, if 1,000 people bought your $50 product, you're good. You're making decent money. And if you manage to automate the whole system, like they pay for it and they get all that stuff like pretty much automated. Even if it's not automated, you're making pretty good money when it comes to time versus reward, because it's just one package. It's the same thing. over and over and over. It's a digital product, basically. Speaking of digital products, now, what are those mods, those custom cars and those custom clothings and those custom menus and those custom jobs and all that stuff? So if you are I'm not even gonna go there yet because that's where you make the most money in my opinion, but let's say that you just do 3D modeling, right? You can get guns that are just guns from the game, weapons from the game directly, and then you just customize the skin. You create skins for them, and then you put them in a nice little package, and then your shop is online. So it's a digital product. People can just click, and then they get their file, and all they have to do is implement it into their server. Good. You make money and you make custom objects. You can also make clothing. That's a little more complicated because it has to do with armature, so you have to adapt it to player models. So I'm like, yeah, that's a little too much, but weapons is definitely like the easiest thing. Slap a couple of skins and people are going to be buying it because those server owners, when they have their own currency that people can buy with real money, sometimes they want like, oh, your gun is going to glow because you're a donor, right? Or you bought special diamonds or whatever. So you have like a paid gun where you paid real money. You can flex with it, but someone's got to make that, right? And you can be that person. There's that. There's also MLOs. MLOs are custom buildings, if you will. Buildings, sometimes with interiors, sometimes without. And it's like, you just create a building and then you put it up for sale and people will add it. Oh, a special coffee shop, a special like burger place, a special weed shop. That's a big thing. People love those. A special meth lab or things like that. And you can sell those too. Of course, there's mansions, there's nightclubs, there's casinos, there's parking lots. I know someone who specializes in emergency vehicles in GTA, in 5M, not even just GTA, just 5M specifically. And they have a whole business behind it. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. All right, now we can finally talk about devs. I believe like 5M is coded with Lua, so there's custom jobs, right? Custom activities that people can do. For example, you go to the trucking place, right? You click on a laptop, it opens up a menu that tells you, hey, select which truck you want to use or whatever, or do you want to do custom jobs where they give you the truck, or do you want to buy your own truck and it's your own little company, it has its own banking system, and then it gives you routes. You hop on a truck, you take the cargo, you bring it there, you bring the truck back, you get paid. This has to be coded. Now, there's different jobs, right? There's like fishing jobs. You go in, there's a laptop, there's a menu, you can buy fishing gear, you can buy boats, you can do all of that, and then it's supposed to turn you a profit. There's hitman jobs. You go to a payphone, it tells you where the area where your target is going to be. You go, you take them out, you get paid. And of course, there's the whole police thing, managing uniforms, managing clocking in, clocking out, locker rooms, and having your gear in your locker, and refills, and ambulance and emergency services. If you can code, especially I heard that Lua is like a pretty simple thing to code, a pretty simple language. That is, if I were you, I would start learning how to dev in 5M really, really fast, honestly. There's specific banking systems. There's also criminal jobs, right? Robbing ATMs, robbing armored vehicles. There's black markets, there's the gun store, the gun shops, and all. There is so much. Now, of course, GTA 6 PC, we have no idea how it's gonna look like, but I feel like, again, this is all a gamble. But if it's anything even remotely close to what we got with GTA 5, and you are prepared, you already know the structure and you know how to do that, just lock in when the game comes out. Just lock in, pre-order the game, start learning this, especially with the dev stuff. PC version is not coming out for a while, so you still have time. You still have time to lock in and learn all that stuff and get ready. Even start making money with GTA 5 in the meantime, so that when GTA 6 comes out on PC, you call in sick at work, you take all your vacation days, you lock in for a week, you set up a store, and you have a bunch of stuff for sale, and you make a ton of money. Some of those stores or on a subscription base. I remember playing on a server where they were like, oh, what happened to the casino? It's broken. And they were like, oh, we stopped paying for it. That's why. There's a group of devs somewhere that's getting money monthly on a virtual casino that multiple servers are using. And you want to know the funny thing? It's not like this is like a big secret or anything like that. You can learn Lua online. And on top of that, 5M has resources. On the 5M website, there's literally a whole section basically explaining to you how to code custom stuff in the game. I remember playing on a server where they would give you plushies when you participated in events, and people would lose their minds over those plushies. They would collect those plushies. And then I went on another server that didn't have that, and I gave them the idea, and you know, they come up with a couple of plushies, and everyone again lost their minds over the plushies. They were like, I want this. Oh, do you have this one? Do you have that one? So if, like me, for example, I do 3D modeling. If I have the time and I have the motivation, I'm gonna lock in and come up with a pack of plushies, of 30 plushies, put that up for sale, and probably make a bunch of money based on that. That's it. I know people who modeled like cats, for example, and then they have a script for a cat system or a cat cafe, and they're making a bunch of money off of 3D modeled cats, and they don't even have to be perfect. It's a video game. Things don't necessarily need to be like this super polished, super high poly thing. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, I mostly wanted to talk about like the digital ways and honestly like the easy ways to make money with GTA 6. If we're talking about real life and we can be like a little ambiguous and things like that, there's also ways to make money. Merch is going to be a big thing. Unofficial merch, of course, there are ways to make it and to have it be completely legal, but we're not even gonna get into that. Okay, this is not a finance channel, at least not yet. We'll see how this video does. But to be fair, I'm anticipating this video to flop because it's so different from my other stuff, but my other stuff has been flopping too, so we'll see. If I have an online store with digital products for GTA 6, I'll let you know, okay? In the meantime, go get that bag. Go get that bag. I see so many developers just sitting, twiddling their thumbs and being like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know, just waiting to get hired. You pretty much have a superpower. And I also see people say, I'm not a dev. I don't know how to code, so I can't. That's me. I do that. I don't know how to code, so I can't do this. Learn. All the resources are there. They're online. They're free. So you're going to learn today.